Viewer discretion is advised. Cops is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Hey guys, welcome back to another upload. I have the Cancer Fit going today since we're going to be in solidarity with Jake Doolittle and his knee surgeries. The fact that he has responded to this is pretty shocking and pretty fast, actually. I was expecting this to take a lot longer with the amount of knee surgeries that he has. I'm putting those in air quotes because I find it funny to annoy Jake with that. But Jake has made what seems to be a 28-minute response to everybody laughing at him about his blackmail video that he put out. Yes, Jake, the blackmail video. That video was to blackmail other creators. I don't know how you put I'm Alex and Cody Co in the thumbnail and then go and say, well, I'm not going to name names, but I'll name names if I don't get this certain amount of money or response from these people. Is it considered a form of blackmail? So we're going to go over it. We're going to be fair to Jake. We're going to be fair now. And we're going to watch what he's got to say. Let's check it out.
Hello everyone. My last video sucked, and the following live stream of me in the hospital trying to see what my audience thought of the video and if everybody hated me was also a really stupid fucking decision. I want it to be known that that live stream was not a response to the videos made. At the time, there was one video made about me, and I went live against my fiance's wishes. She was texting me the entire time telling me to get off live.
Ooh, why would you tell everyone that? Jake, you're a lol cow. You're a lol cow. You have your own fiance trying to text you saying, Jake, get off live, get off live, get off live. And you're responding to people while you're in the hospital. You deleted that live stream. You should have waited. You should have waited. And obviously, looking within hindsight, it's good that you recognized your faults in that video off of the bat and saying it was a stupid idea to do any of this. But the problem is, Jake, is that you have compounded so much ill will towards you, not only from H3H3's audience, but the overall internet with how you conduct yourself. When you accused H3 of lying about his lupus diagnosis and trying to guilt trip people and making them feel bad about it, even though Ethan just only had a diagnosis. He has constant medical conditions. Look at him. He's doing this all day. Like, it's not great. It's not good. So you trying to discredit that is insane. And I know you're going to get mad at people later talking about your knee surgery and medical conditions and everything. But the thing is that you speculated on somebody's medical conditions. And now that it's being flipped on you, you're crying about it.
But I thought that I could explain what was going on while in the ER, in a lot of pain, and dealing with insurance shit. I was literally like, I'll go live, I'll see what the audience thinks, and then hopefully this will all be over. I can explain everything. But first of all, going live and trying to talk about that kind of stuff was really dumb. Also, being in pain, not in a good mental state.
Oh God, I wasn't in a good mental state. I wasn't in a good mental state. Dude, I hate when people use this line, I wasn't in a good mental state, so I went live and tried to beat the allegations, and I said a bunch of crazy stuff that people took at face value because I gave them that ammunition.
And in the middle of talking to nurses, also very dumb. Not only did I go live thinking that I could clear everything up in the span of 20 minutes while waiting for results from knee scans, I also just dug myself a deeper hole. There's a lot to address, and thinking that I could clear things up while on a vertical live stream holding the phone below my chin is clown behavior. I was genuinely trying to compartmentalize everything that was going on, and there was one video that was made and H3 was going live, and I was like, okay, so if I address this, then there's nothing to talk about, everything's all good, and then I can focus on my health. And in reality, while in the hospital live streaming and getting results like that, it only made things worse. So this, I guess, is my response to everything everything that's been said. I want to start out by saying the video that I posted, I was very upset recording that. The attitude and the tone, everything was bad.
Man, I wonder what made it bad, Jake. Was it the fact that you said that you were going to out people within your circle for not donating to charity because they were making a lot of money? Was it that? Jake? Was it the fact that you put together a charity with little to no experience and it is now falling apart and failing? You know, you could have just made YouTube videos and put it in the fundraiser tab this entire time, because I saw on your last video that it is there. So I don't know why you're not uploading constantly and constantly shilling it all the time. There was even a section in the previous video where you talked about how there was an event for Never Stop, that you successfully had an event but didn't talk about it anywhere. You didn't provide anybody a location or places to donate or anything. You just did the event. You are really bad at marketing your own charity, and you are trying to put the onus on the YouTube content creators for them to help you when you are the one that's supposed to be doing this. If creators don't want to donate to you, they don't have to donate to you. You have a very, very transactional mindset, and it is very clear from the initial Blackmail video that you put out that you only view other creators as transactional people.
I came across as annoying and entitled, and prior to recording that day, I had been dealing with one of the first like big major health scares that I've had in the last 3 to 4 years. Since I've started YouTube, my health has been somewhat okay. I've only had 1 or 2 surgeries in the last 3 to 4 years, whereas prior to that, there was a lot more and a lot more doctor appointments, and I felt much worse.
Well, you're just making, I'm just going to say it. You're just making excuses. You're making excuses. People are in constant pain all the time. I have chronic stuff in my spine that I don't let that get me down. I sit in this chair, I talk to people, I go to work, I live my life. Like all of these things, I can't imagine like using that as an excuse to upload a YouTube video that makes you look bad. If you're feeling bad and if you're in a low spot, don't upload. It's not that hard.
I was kind of riding a high of feeling okay. And then I started to get pains that mimicked a lot of what I felt prior to the first round of my surgeries. So I was on the phone with my surgeon and insurance trying to get an MRI approved, but it wasn't able to be approved because I needed an x-ray first. I recorded that video with no notes or preparation. It was 45 minutes as a raw file, and I sent that off to be edited and thumbnailed. It came back as 15 minutes, and I dragged and dropped it into YouTube Studio, attached the thumbnail, and said, fuck it.
Jake's editor. Hey, buddy, this is just to you, okay? This is just to you, bud. I am willing to pay you for that 45-minute unedited clip of Jake popping off about the charity stuff. I'm willing to do it. Follow me on Twitter. Let me know you're the editor. We'll talk. But in this moment, has anyone noticed what's happening just yet? Has anyone noticed? Jake is now throwing, in my opinion, his editor under the bus and being like, well, I sent a 45-minute long unedited clip to my editor and he cut it down to 15 minutes. I didn't even know what I said in it. How do you not know what you say in your own recorded video? Why aren't you watching it back? You're throwing the editor under the bus. That's what you're doing, man.
Which was probably one of the worst choices I could have made, but I think that's kind of where my mind was at the time. I had also been declined for disability insurance because since I'm self-employed, I don't meet the requirements of disability insurance because it would be like trying to get coverage for a house in the middle of the ocean, trying to get like flooding insurance. That also added to my stress because if I end up going through another period of time where I'm very sick, I don't have any sort of backup plan. I had no time.
Why don't you have a backup plan? Why don't you have like a nice little pot reserved in case that your health goes down? You make an okay living on YouTube. Why don't you have like some kind of job that offers benefits so that if you get hurt, you can still work. You still have a job. You still have those benefits to help you out. Why are you putting all of your chips into YouTube? This is where our criticism lies with you initially, is that you are solely doing YouTube and then trying to make it other YouTubers' problems for not donating to your charity that you are mismanaging and you are unable to fund yourself. That's your fault. Nobody should feel sorry for you. You did this to yourself. I don't care if you have to have 30 knee surgeries. You are the idiot that is running solely off of YouTube with your medical conditions.
I had no topics to talk about. I had just watched a video of a YouTuber talking to the camera and ranting about like things that he was passionate about. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do that. And I'm upset and I'm scared and I'm frustrated with everything that's going on in my personal life. So who cares? Especially since it was a complete throwaway video. There's a lot of the stuff that I was saying in that I still stand by, where, you know, I want never stop to work. Like all the basics of it are still very true, but then in my anger I would say things like, if after a month nobody ends up donating, then I'm gonna have to talk about the people who have declined to donate. And that's fucking stupid. That was me trying to be like, this is how hard I'm trying to make things work, and in reality it came across as, you know, I have a bunch of rich people who I know, why don't they give my charity money?
No, that's not how it came across. You know what it came across as? It came across as shaming these people. It came across as blackmail. It didn't come across as like, oh, I just have rich friends and they're not helping me. No. It came across like you were going to throw a bunch of people under the bus, because within that same sentence, which you are obfuscating on in this response, you said we share an audience. These people share an audience with me. So you recognize the fact that if you put out these names, these people were going to have those audience members who watch you and them go to their channel and start shaming them for not donating to you because they are also fans of you. This was calculated. This wasn't like a throwaway video. This was 100% calculated, and you're bullshitting yourself that it wasn't.
I haven't been happy with the way that we haven't been able to up the amount of money given over time, and we are only getting more and more applicants, and we don't have the finances to give out more money to more people. Also, because videos that I've been posting haven't been getting views, and I'm freaked about not being able to post or make money if I have another health scare. I was like, it's something to post. It's not going to get views anyways, but I might make $100 off of it.
I can't believe for $100, realize this dude was hoping for $100 to burn down his career, his connections, his networking opportunities. He did this for $100 to burn everyone around him. Jake, you are somebody nobody should work with ever again.
I had been telling myself, like, I'm going to post every 2 to 3 days. I think it was on day 2 or 3 that I hadn't uploaded, and I was like, I have to do something. Let me just fucking do this. It was the worst decision I could have made. I do not feel entitled to your money. Your money is your money. As somebody who's freaked about his own personal money, if there was somebody reaching out to me being like, hey, do you want to hear more about my nonprofit? I'd be like, well, I have to take care of myself first. And I don't know the people who I'm talking about fucking financial state. It was a wild assumption to be like, you know, if anybody has extra money, like I've made a few videos with them, where else would they give their money? And that's fucking very, very dumb.
At least you recognize that. I could be fair in that aspect. At least you recognize that it was really dumb. The problem is now, Jake, is what you have essentially created is a massive issue, both on an optical level and on an audience level. The audience sees you as an e-begging loser that is going to blackmail people that they watch because they didn't do what you wanted. And then now you have the optical issue where people like myself and others are covering you because you have such an extensive history of doing off-the-wall crazy stuff, accusing people of stuff, trying to guilt trip people into things because it didn't go your way, or that you thought of something and it ended up backfiring so hard, and now you're trying to cover up for it. Or you're trying to make it seem less impactful than it really was. You have destroyed yourself in the public eye. No one should work with you.
Especially while the nonprofit is in a state of like building things up. If it speaks to what my mindset was, I posted that video genuinely not thinking anyone would see it because our website is not functioning at all. I thought that people would recognize my frustration as me trying or showing people that I care, and that's just the wrong way to do it. I didn't want people to think like Jake has had Never Stop for the past year and a half. The number of applicants have only gone up, but the number of donations made has not. And I didn't want that to come across as me being content with what we're doing.
So this is about your ego. This is about you. This isn't about the charity. This is about you. It's obvious. Why are you saying me? I didn't want people to think I was doing this or I'm like this or what I'm doing. Why aren't you caring about the charity overall? Who cares about you? It's the people that matter. It's the people you're trying to give that money to. Why are you putting more work into this? Why aren't you trying to like put it in the fundraising tab on YouTube more? Why aren't you promoting this more on your social medias? Why are you doing the bare minimum, and then when the bare minimum is coming back to bite you, blame everyone else around you? It's ridiculous.
Like, I want there to be more. It kind of just came across as like a crazed, like upset person who's not happy with his friends, his health, like really anything in life. And that's the worst.
No, it came across more like you were trying to blackmail your friends. So can we stop trying to like dance around what it actually was? You were trying to shame your friends. You brought up the fact of how much money they were making and them talking about, I thank you. I hit a milestone here. I'm very happy with the money that I made. And then you come creeping in and going, well, you said you want to do good with that money. Donate to my charity. Donate to me. Donate to me. Donate to me. And then they're like, I don't want to, like, why are you hitting me up about this? Then you also drop another story about apparently a guy that you came up with in the YouTube community that they don't want to talk to you anymore. And they say that you're a clout goblin and somebody that uses people. I think that guy's right. I think you do use people. It's obvious that you use people. That whole video is an indication that you use people. And then on top of that, you being a total weirdo to the H3 podcast crew, like AB, Olivia, all the random DMs you were sending these people. It's creepy, man. You're a creepy transactional person.
I do think that it was my initial reaction to having the first day in 3 to 4 years where I was just on the phone with doctors and insurance. And good God, I could have just waited a day to record. I also didn't think that would get views or attention because I made statements in that video that needed context that I didn't give. Like, I assumed that this was going to be to my core audience.
Are you dumb? You're a YouTuber. Are you stupid? The answer is yes. But you're a YouTuber. Of course it's going to make the rounds if you're e-begging online as a large YouTube channel, a soy commentary channel at that. Dude, that is the bread and butter of people making videos on people. The minute you start e-begging like this, the minute you start trying to blackmail people, the minute you start trying to say I'm going to name names, of course it's going to leave your regular circle. Of course it was going to get talked about by other people. There has been a laundry list of creators that have been doing this begging crap within the sphere of what we would consider like soy YouTube. There's so many instances of you guys doing dumb stuff that right now it is the prime content for people to laugh at and criticize because you make it so easy. Of course it was going to leave your core audience. You uploaded it publicly to the internet.
Nobody who I was talking about would see it. It wouldn't be a big deal. And then now it's a whole thing. I said that no nonprofit gives directly to people like we do or something like that. And so my core audience knows that in previous videos I've talked about, like, I think it's really cool that we're able to give money through PayPal and have it in the recipient's pockets within seconds. But without context, that's me saying, No other nonprofit does what we do. We're the best. While we're giving 500, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I also said something like, no other YouTuber is posting as much as I am or something. First of all, that's just completely false. With context, I was trying to be like, all of my mutuals who I've been friends with for a while, I mean, they upload, like, basically they upload once a month, and I'm working so hard. But like, in reality, these people are putting a bunch of effort into their content, and I'm not. That's why I can put shit out like that. I did take notes for this video, so I'm trying to go through them. If I seem a little jumbled, there's a lot to cover.
I'm really glad that you're telling everybody about this stuff. Thank you. Oh, well, the context is my friends are uploading once a month, but I'm a lazy piece of shit and I just crank out YouTube videos. And this doesn't matter. This does not matter. I want to get to where he talks about the charity in of itself and the 90% to 10% aspect for the merch.
Now, I guess we'll talk about Never Stop's sort of behind the scenes funding and stuff. The way that Never Stop is structured, it is a 501c3 nonprofit organization out of the state of Maine. Here are some of the payments that we've sent out this year. Starting in October, here's 500 we did via PayPal. 129, that was for promotional materials for an event that we did. This was a Walmart grant right here. These are just various payouts from Stripe and PayPal. Another sticker mule purchase. Staples was postcards and like pamphlets that we handed out during this event. The only withdrawals are business expenses and the $500 a month. If there's any confusion with Never Stop Clothing and the Never Stop Fund, the way that I was told that we should structure everything is we take the Never Stop Clothing and the Never Stop Fund and separate them, because Never Stop Clothing, Jake Doolittle, my company, would take 10% of the profits and donate that to the Never Stop Fund. Two completely separate entities. Probably stupid as shit that they were the same names, but I had started Never Stop Clothing when I was 16 years old on Facebook, selling to my mom's friends just for proof. Look at this. Never Stop. Isn't that nice design? Jesus Christ. Liked by my fiance in 2018. Prior to YouTube, prior to everything. That was one of our later releases. There were other ones that I can't find. The Never Stop Fund was started because I had made the Never Stop Clothing brand and I wanted to give back to people who are going through the same thing that I once was. Never Stop Clothing was first, and then I liked the name Never Stop and started Never Stop Fund. I didn't want to get rid of Never Stop Clothing, so I made them two separate entities. And in retrospect, that's confusing as shit. And if I could do it over again, I would just have personal merchandise and the Never Stop Fund with maybe not the same name. But I thought since there were two different URLs, it would be better. I don't know.
None of this has acknowledged the fact of the 90-10%. Why are you only giving 10%? If you're that concerned about it, give more of what you make out of that 90% to the charity instead of taking the money yourself for the rest of it. Like, why are we dancing around that criticism or that question? Why are we dancing around that? I don't think he's acknowledged that once. Like, it's good that 10% of it goes to the charity. I have no issue with that. But the problem is that you're complaining about revenue. Your fans obviously buy this merch, or maybe they don't. I have no idea. I have no idea what your spreadsheets or expense reports looks like for that. But if you're that concerned about there being such a issue with the name and like what is going to what, why aren't you putting more of the profit from the merch into the charity? If this is truly what you care about, that should be the majority of the profit of the shirt to the charity. I don't get what we're doing here.
And I apologize for the confusion. On the upside, though, since there's been so much confusion and so many questions, 100% of all of the profits from the Never Stop Clothing brand now go into the fund so far.
Oh, that's good. Now it's 100%. So he was just raking in the 90% until he got a bunch of shit, and now it's flipped to 100%? Jake, no! That just makes this look even worse! So that means you could have operated at 100% the entire time, but you chose to take 90% of the earnings. So far, we got the blackmail response subpar. The fact that he is now magically able to switch the t-shirts or the merch in of itself from 90% profit going to him to 100% profit going to the charity, which is really funny that this just happened right now. Basically, the rest of the video is him complaining that everyone was like laughing about his knee surgery. I don't care, if I'm being brutally honest. And people doing speculations on his medical history because he did it to H3. But there's a certain part in here where a certain somebody gets a shout out. God damn it, Nick.
I also just want to respond to a few of the things that are online. This guy, Nicholas Diorio, I don't know who he is. He has been posting this horrendous fucking photo.
What an iconic photo.
I wish that I could show you the original photos that I took, but that's after the brand said you have to look a little bit more enthusiastic. And so I did that as a silly joke. I mean, he has been constantly tweeting about me. I attempted to do a bunch of AMAs talking about like never stopping stuff on Reddit. They all got taken down because I'm stupid and I didn't have enough karma to post. And all the mods ended up like auto taking these things down, obviously, because it was against their terms of service or whatever. And the only one that stayed up was a Lyme disease subreddit I had posted on. And I did that because I was going through these subreddits, and the main problem is nobody has money, and a lot of the treatments you have to pay out of pocket. I did that to be like, hey, this is where you can apply. That was taken as me failing at everything. He only ended up tweeting this video here. That was a news story done when I was, Jesus Christ, like 15 or 16 years old. What the fuck? This is the shit that really bothers me. Honestly, when people go like, he's ugly, he's fat, he's stupid, that's fine. But when you start digging up like shit that I've done in the past to try to like talk about what I've been going through, that's insane.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a solid minute here. Now, I understand. I get it. There's things posted in the past that you have no control over because you're trying to argue that with Fauci and the rest of them. They're allowed to do that. It's public. Now, is it weird? You can argue it's weird. But the thing is, and this is the funny part, Nick just took that from the H3 subreddit. The H3 subreddit was the ones that found it. And to be honest, watching the doctor say, Jake Doolittle can't use his eyes and ears at the same time is funny. It's funny. Stop. Stop it. But yeah, listen, at the end of the day, Jake is a lolcow. He's not somebody you should trust. He's somebody who will blackmail you. He's somebody that'll guilt trip you. And honestly, this is bad. This is really bad because people that need this money are being hurt by Jake's own actions. It's no one else's problem. It's no one else's fault other than Jake's. And Jake, I'm going to give you some advice. Don't go into small commentary YouTube channels chats and try to argue with them about your lolcow crash out, because I saw you do that with the op block. Shout out to them. And you were in their chat melting down about them, covering everything about you. You need to understand that even though you didn't post that stuff, it's on the clear net. People are going to talk about it. People are going to laugh at you. Go get over it. Get over it and move the hell on. And to be honest, Jake, and to people that still work with him, I am shocked that you do. There is no reason to work with this guy ever again. Again, thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you are new. I'll see you guys in the next one. Live soon.